48 nations of the $1 Million Round Table.
The
honorary Aussies for the next few minutes. You have to learn how to sound.
Al pasar la bandera de México, siendo yo.
Presentation of flags of every nation represented. We ask.
MDRT spoken here.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem.
John Savage needs no introduction. He's been a featured speaker at 11 of our last 12 meetings. He's spoken in every state in the Union for life underwriters, virtually every Canadian province, and in 24 countries throughout the free world. So I thought it only appropriate, John, that I take this time to introduce the audience to you, to let you know how we feel about you. We're here tonight, John, because we'll hear some things from you that we won't hear from anyone else anyplace else, because you tell it as it is. You've taught us that involvement is meaningless, but commitment is everything. And your commitment lies in your belief that the able must serve the least able in this life, that we gain most when we give ourselves away. Your great mission as you attend the MDRT annual meetings, as long as I've known you, has always been to give the best that you have to those that don't have, those that are hurting or wanting. Now, you've created a lot of traffic problems. When I was on the traffic area of PGA, whenever we saw a crowd ganged up in the hallway, it was you holding court, helping out the fellows that needed help. You've lifted us up emotionally, financially, spiritually. You've been our coach, our mentor, our minister, and our friend. We've come to understand through you that the road to success is always under construction. And your latest book, High Touch Selling, urges us to make a great life while making a great living. We've come to know, John, how deeply you love your family and how much they love you. Appropriately, you dedicated this most recent book to Kate, your beautiful and beloved wife. I bought one of your books yesterday. You dedicate to this beautiful lady, the mother of your 9 children. And it states in the book, Kate means so very much to me and the children, and I thank God daily for Kate, this wonderful miracle in our lives. Now, John, this past January, you had a dynamite blow hit you. Blow that would decimate most of us. But true to your great faith and strength, you're here tonight showing your indomitable spirit. You continue to keep on keeping on. And what an example you are to us. So, John, please meet just a few of your countless friends and fans who love you deeply. And ladies and gentlemen, truly a legend in his own time. Your dear friend and mine, John Savage.
Well, first of all, I think it's great wisdom on the part of the round table to have 2 great athletes in the same program. He was all American, I was all black. You know, but Tennessee does mean a lot to me. We were talking about that earlier. Anybody here from Nashville? One. I don't have much following there. No, let me tell you a true story. I was the first speaker at Grand Ole Opera, the new Grand Ole Opera, 1971. I opened the program, and Elvis closed the program. And we split $1,200,000. He got $1 million, I got $200. Hey, we're gonna have a little fun, because that's what I'm about. And, you know, you hear all these things. Raz is an interesting guy because he's deeply spiritual. I don't know if you know that, but he's of the Mormon persuasion. He's of the persuasion, I got the 9 kids. I'll tell you a little story about Raz, because he's talking about me, but he was out golfing about 10 years ago, I think it was, and he's not a very good golfer, but he's a great guy. And he came up this hole, it was 412 yards, par 4. That wasn't so bad, but there was 280 yards of grass and then 110 yards of water before you got to the green. Well, understand the spirituality, and most people really love this guy. He hit a prodigious wallop, 15 yards short of the water. Now, you have to understand, he looks at the water, and that's all he sees to the flag. And he had a brand new Spalding dot. He looked down at that ball, and he had a ball in his pocket that was up for dismissal. About 12 of those shines on it. So, sheepishly, he picked the dot up, put it in his pocket, and put the well-marked ball down. He went up, addressing the ball, standing over the ball, and with that, clouds opened up. Use the new ball. Well, obviously, divine intervention. He felt his set in. He reached down, put the old one, replaced his new one back down. He got over the ball, and with that, the clouds opened, and the voice said, "Step back and take 2 practice swings." So, obviously, he went back, took 2 practice swings. With that, it opened up again and said, "Use the old ball." Hey, let me help you about the health business. I got to straighten out the world because I heard everything on how bad I was. I've never felt better. Prayer is with me, and I'm excited about the future, and I'm planning the year 2000. Now, well, see, when I got the news in January, I really, here's what happened. I thought of the 3 guys that were told they had 3 weeks to live. And the one guy said, "I'm going to Europe. That's where I want to go. That's what I do if I got 3 weeks to live." And the other guy said, "I'm going to Hawaii." He says, "Great place to spend my last days." Asked the third guy, he said, "I'm going to get a new doctor." And that's what I did. All right. But anyway, I got to Mayo Clinic, and after I got that first diagnosis, and really the diagnosis is good because they say I have more than 2 years to live. Isn't that good? I mean, you had less, now you got more. Now, do you have any idea what more is? That's age 90. See, that's the way I took it. But I did leave Mayo, and I said to the doctor, "You don't look good to me." The doctor didn't look good, and I said, "You need some care." And so he wrote me, and he's got a new doctor. So we got a lot of things going, all right? But hey, gang, I'm telling you, I've never had a down moment. I've never had a moment of depression or being upset. I'm just excited about every day. We're all here in a rain check. And please remember this, we're all terminally ill. And when you take the last trip in the black hack and you ain't coming back, and where you end up, we know not where. If you're a thoroughbred here, you'll be a thoroughbred there. All right? Now, I have to announce, the game has been delayed. Really, I got a pocket radio, and I'm hearing things, and when I get little information, I'm going to pass it on to you, because I do think it's very important. Just a second. Oh, here's something. L.A. got the tap. Okay, now, that's important stuff. All right, now what we're going to do is get at some things to help you and tell you why most people are fouled up when it comes to our business. Isn't your fault. It's the home office. They ain't never got the message, all right? So we got to start writing them. You got letters, don't send them to Congress, send them to your home office. Now, here's where half of you got off to a bad start, and this is what happened. And by the way, we got to change this. I've been kidding about a lot of things, but we really got to change this. Here's how you were brought into business. 10 calls. Is that okay? Maybe I'm sicker than I think I am. All right, now. Hey, it's no time for tricks because I get upset easy. All right, now. Does that look familiar to you? 10 calls, 3 interviews, 1 sale. That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my entire life. Can you imagine when I was coaching basketball, I said, "Now, guys, come over here. Take 10 shots. We make 1, we'll be doing good." We wouldn't win a ball game. So I introduce for you, starting tonight, to take a pledge. 10 calls, 10 interviews, and 10 sales. Now, here, that's always been my goal. And for a year, I have never reached it. But wouldn't you rather have high goals and miss them than low goals and make them? Gracious me. Now, I am on a mission. There's no question about it, because I believe we're doing things pretty good. But I'm going to give you something tonight I've never given before at the $1 Million Round Table. Now, wait a minute. You're jumping to conclusions. Ah, all right. See? You were wrong. All right, now. Now, would you say I got the crowd with me? All right, now. Hey, folks, I've studied my own situation. Here's exactly what I've always done. Everyone in the room has had product plus service. That's all you have. Remember, you've heard me say, people don't buy insurance, people buy people. Now, I have the same thing you have. Now, what I'm going to tell you, this is what you've been taught over the years, and we're all creatures of habit. This is what the customer expects from you, or the client, or however you say, you know. Now, product plus service, and this is what the customer expects. Now, that's where you stopped. And that is the sad part that will ultimately get you 10, 3, and 1. For 25 years, I have given the customer what he or she didn't expect. And I really believe that makes the difference. Now, I'll explain that to you. 3 years ago, I had a referral on a man 68 years of age. And I had breakfast with him like I have breakfast with all the new people I meet. I don't believe in direct mail. You know that. I don't believe in cold calls. I think that's like scratching something that doesn't itch. I don't understand it. You're going to become a Muhammad Ali of the business if you have 88 rejections. I don't like rejections, so I don't get them. And I think overcoming objections, if you got brooks like that, burn them. Don't get objections. Now, I met this guy for breakfast. Now, folks, you have been taught when you meet someone like this to bring up, how's your group insurance? How's your pension plan? How's your 401k? That is dumb squared. Your job is to serve, not be served. That's the first thing you have to understand. And the second thing, and I wrote about, and some of you have heard me talk about, you got to be no longer a hunter. You were taught, pick up the newspaper, see who had a new kid, see who's getting married, who got engaged, who got a pay raise. Amateur night in the arena. That's behind you. You can't operate like that anymore. We've got to grow, we must change. You must be a trapper. You've been taught to be a hunter. And I've taught people, a hunter goes up and down the stream, in and out of the woods. The end of the day, one rabbit, one bird. What does the trapper do? Sets up the trappings, goes in the log cabin, opens up a Miller Lite, and pretty soon, bing, got one. Bing, got one. At the end of the day, he goes up and picks up the trappings. You're working too hard, and you've got to bring balance into your life. Balance. Ladies and gentlemen, I have never worked Friday nights, Saturdays, or Sundays since I've been in this business. And anybody likes to work better than play has never played. Got to be, check your A's out. Will you check your A's out when I'm at this breakfast? Your A's. What's your awareness level? That's the A. If you go through a parking lot and you see a bottle, pick it up. Don't say, I didn't put it there. That's awareness. Be available. That's another A. And always say yes. If someone calls you at 4 o'clock in the morning, don't say, do you know what time it is? Sure they know what time. They called you. Be amiable. Be nice to be around. I see so many people, I tell them, if you're happy, tell your face. Attitude, not aptitude, always determines your altitude. Your attitude. Have a positive mental attitude, because a negative thought is a down payment on an obligation to fail. You know that, and I've said it for years. I don't allow one negative thought to get inside my cranium. The least important of the A's, ability. Ability. Look it, if you have 180 IQ, keep it to yourself. Nobody cares. What did you do? Meet with God and check with your folks and say, send me down, Bright? Everything we have is a gift. Everything we have is a gift. If you pay $900 for your sport coats, keep it to yourself, because nobody cares. If you drive a Cadillac, nobody cares. I mean, you can't believe how many people driving these cars thinking other people are looking at them. You cannot drive looking at another car. You've got to keep on your own. Those are really the forms versus the substances that talked about throughout this whole program. We got to get back to basics. we got to change because most people don't even know what the basics are. When I was coaching basketball, I always got the team the first day. Said, why don't you have to look at the ball when you're dribbling it? They say, so you can see the defense. Wrong. So you can see the whole court. Wrong. You don't have to dribble it because it's round. When you drop it, it'll come right back up. Footballs are hard to dribble. Got to keep your eye right on them. What does that have to do with my appointment at breakfast? Everything. Everything. You got to get ready for the game. Mental rehearsal. When I'm going to breakfast, I'm thinking about one thing. How am I going to get this guy as a client? You have one job, building a clientele, not making a sale. You're too much of in a hurry. You have appointments, say, oh, you need one more sale to make the President's Club. Do you think your client cares about your President's Club? Oh, next group. 3 guys started our company, I'm convinced. One had a paper mill, the other had a printing press, and the third had a plaque factory. I go into agencies and they got 28 plaques. Now, you know what I do with mine? Burn them. Now, I'm not telling you to burn them, but it's really great catalytic agents for the balance of the wood in the winter. You keep them right by the fireplace. They do serve a purpose. Now, plaques are good for the young. Good. You young agents, I want you to get plaques. But can you imagine 60 years of age and wanting a plaque? I don't want you to agree with me. 2 people agree on everything, 1 isn't needed. There's not right, there's not wrong. I want you to do some thinking. A rare exercise in our society. Now here's the guy. I want to give you the story quick. We had a pleasant breakfast because I said, where do you think I can help you in your business? He says, you know, John, you've been referred strongly to me, and I do have some problems. I have some marketing problems. I have some corporate problems, relationships between the bosses and the masses. You know my philosophy. Serve the masses, you'll eat with the classes. Serve the classes, you go belly up. You see, you got to sell 200 lives a year, folks. I don't care if they give you a plaque for 1 app a week. What could you sell 1 of a week unless it be nuclear power plants and think you're getting a job done? You should sell something every day, and you know you guys, not the gals, because I put gals above guys. I really do. I think ladies are brighter than men. I don't know how it worked out that way. I know at our house it ain't even close. See, I've always believed in Planned Parenthood. You know, my kids are all basketball players. I was going to the girl 5'2". Reject. Married a girl 5'9". Suit up, you're starting. Big kids come from big ladies. That's Planned Parenthood. Now, what I want to tell you about this appointment is that 2 years later, I had over 100 meetings with this guy and his company and never brought up our product once. And he said last year, about this time, John, I've got to pay you. I said, for what? I've had fun. He says, yeah, but I'm always calling you. I said, look, someday you will need my product. And then I will serve you. January 3rd of this year, my commission on his business was $267,000. And write this one down. Business will continue to go where invited and remain where appreciated. Don't be worrying about A.L. Williams. Hey, I appreciate all the work, fighting, and doing, but let me help you. A.L. Williams. I'm like the batter that hit the pitcher. I can't beat the bat up to the plate. Part-time. Can you imagine Dr. J coming down the court and me on defense? Should I go to the left and put it in? Should I go to the right and put it in? Should I put the guy and the ball in? I have converted this year 17 A.L. Williams term to Columbus Mutual permanent. Isn't that good? Isn't it interesting, ladies and gentlemen? I just want you to think about this. They said A.L. Williams is attacking us. I would think in the last 10 years, a whole lot of agents have replaced business of other agents, and they weren't with A.L. Williams. All right? How are we doing on time? Sure, plenty for you. I'm sick. Hey, wait a minute. Got a score for you. L.A., 34. Okay. They broke for one of Kyle's commercials. Okay, I'll be back with you. Hey, Kyle, what a job. Boy, what a job he did, huh? Whoa. Woo. This morning's program, in my opinion, everyone was A+. Isn't that great? See, I'm easy. I'm always available. I mean, Charlie can't make it. John will be there. And I don't practice, and I don't rehearse, and I don't have any notes, and I don't follow a script, and I don't send one in. Now, that's fact. But you know what? The truth is always with me. That's why I don't do it. And if I created something, it'd be a lie. Okay? Now, hey, wait a minute. Now, if you had Sinatra here tonight, would you want him to sing old songs or the new ones? Got it. All right. Now, I ain't comparing me with Sinatra. And I don't think he'll ever mention me. Hey, can you imagine, a month from now, I walk around and say, hey, I was on a program with Kyle Rote Jr. Can you imagine anything that would make Kyle Rote say, I was on a program with John Savage? I mean, they look at you, Kyle, and have you put away. Now, what we've got to do is I'm going to give you a little clinic for a short period of time and show you why. And by the way, over 1,300 letters have come this past year, from you people telling me that's all you're doing now. That's exciting. Because you see, if you can't put it down on one sheet of paper, you shouldn't put it down. All you have in an interview is trust. Once violated, you have nothing. And you better be in the world of total financial planning. And this is what I've said for a long, long time. Bank account, investment, insurance. I hate to tell you, there's not anything else in the world of finance. If there's nothing else, why write it down? Now, how do I do it? Well, first of all, we must tell you that investments, and this has been added, so pay attention, stocks, bonds, and underneath, annuities. As I stand before you, I have sold over $12 million new dollars of annuities since January 1. See, you got to relax. See, I don't work June, July, or August and haven't for 15 years. I don't call my office or get a call unless I need money. There's nothing I could call my office in the summer gonna make me feel better than I am fishing in Colorado. Balance, balance. 3 years ago, I saw 108 basketball games that my kids played in. Isn't that good? Well, see, they told me to talk a little bit about family. Well, I can talk a lot about it, but I'm not going to talk too much about it. But you know my slogans, and I'm not going to give you all those. I got 9 kids, and I have meetings now with them. Dad's got a lot of money, and you ain't getting it. Isn't that good? Can you imagine my kids getting my money? See, I tell them, if God would want us together, he'd have sent a clump down. You come in alone, you're on your own, you go out alone. It's a beautiful deal. Oh, let me give you a quick story on my daughter, Kelly. A lot of you know I'm proud of my kids. I got 7 boys and 2 girls. But my daughter, major college basketball player. Now, she was all everything 2 years ago in high school, and a lot of scholarships. She ended up at the University of Toledo. Last year, she had 71 three-point baskets. The rest of the league had 46. But she got her instruction at home. Wait a minute. Just wasn't all her. Wait a minute. I said, you're dribbling down the floor. You're ahead of the fast break. Stop. Take the three-pointer. Why go the rest of the way for half as much? But old Kelly, 2 years ago, came to see me. Dad, I want a new pair of basketball shoes. These are the best basketball shoes that have ever been made. I says, well, honey, what do they cost? You ready for this? $100. 2 shoes. $100. I said, well, honey, how bad do you want them? She said, Dad, I really want them. I said, then I suggest you go to your savings account that you've earned over 10 years babysitting, take the money out, and buy the shoes. You know what? She didn't really want them. She wanted my money. Can I help you? She didn't get the shoes. She still ain't got them. She got those 71 three-point baskets with bad shoes. No, it reminded me when Kyle was up here talking about Pepsi and bark like a chicken and jump through a hoop and fly through the air. Michael Jordan could wear sandals and go to the top of the backboard. All right? Okay. Stocks, bonds, annuities. Over here, land, building, house. Why house? Because now, with the interest deductibility, becomes part of financial planning. Now, down here, you know what this is? High-risk stuff. Futures market, oil, coal, gas, gold, silver, coins. That's all down here. Never have over 5% of your estate here. And over here is where all the money is, folks. Over here is the retirement programs, pension, profit-sharing plan, and so forth. 401ks, IRAs. I blow that up in the interview. I liken that to breathing. Young lady, how much time do you think about your breathing? None. Cut it out. It'll get all your attention. Now, if you get fired, then we're going to look here. But in the meantime, it's just going to fill up. Now, you ready? This is only going to take 10 minutes, and then I'm going to give you the newest, greatest idea in the history of our business. And I just developed it 2 nights ago in my bedroom, and it will eliminate you from ever needing second to die life insurance policy. Isn't that exciting? You can go back and work with your company now. You don't have to broker it. All right. Hey, I don't know. I'm from Columbus Mutual. We just have cash values this year. I mean, we're behind times. All right. Well, not right away. We get them in the 20th year. All right. What I'm talking about is selling, communicating effectively. You were taught to be efficient. Efficient people do things right. Effective people do the right things right. You got to be effective. Everybody's got to say yes. Bank account, I tell them, most important facet of financial planning. You know, I tell everybody that. Now, most important. When's the last time you told people the bank account was the most important facet of financial? When's the last time your company sent down a bulletin and said, remember, banks are more important? No, they say, we're the biggest company in the world. We have just spent $7,264,000,000 to fight AIDS. How about sending us some to improve what we're doing? Send some messengers. We got to get together. You're trying to sell. I tell them, bank account is the most important facet of financial planning. Bing, got one. I'm in the log cabin. I meet a person, he's 46, his wife is 42, and I say, you don't know how many people I meet like you that don't have $25,000 in the bank. He said, well, we don't have $25,000. I say, oh? Bing, got one. Now, if you're a client of mine, we're going to get 25 in the bank, and then we're going to move it into investments, because ultimately 90% of your money has to be in investments. But only one kind of person invests before they save: a dumb person. Bright people save and then invest. Now, this is the power pack part of the program. Insurance is the least important facet of financial planning. Do you know what he says? You're the first agent that has ever told me that. Bing, got one. All right. Someday, if you're a client of mine, you will have $25,000 in cash value here. And I've never seen anybody with 25 here and 25 here that ever had a problem here. But we got to get at it. How much do you have in the bank? You will not believe this. $3,000. $3,000. Been on earth 46 years. And you tell me you're doing financial planning? Oh, I see what you get. You run into the guy, he's got $2 million here, $4 million in buildings. How about the real world? You met with Charlie the tuna, and he ain't got no money anywhere. That's the job you've got to do. Teach him, hey, they're taking care of Alcoholics Anonymous, okay? They're taking care of fat people. They have, what do they call that? Weight Watchers. 2 400-pounders walk in. They get a scale from the slaughterhouse, put them on it and say, you're fat. Great insight. And they pay for that advice. Here is the one, what you've got to understand is needed. This is really needed. Spenders Anonymous. I'm the only representative in the country. All right? Now, folks, listen carefully. Cash value of his life insurance, $9,000. Please leave it alone. The poor devil's only got money there. Don't go up to him and say, you have twice the coverage, no additional premium. Wrong. You have just lied. Just like when you come up with your universal life. We pay 9%. Heifer dust. Watch what I do in every interview. A bank pays 6% and insurance pays 4%. Put yourself down. Be wrong so others may be right. Do you want to sell? Do you want to build a clientele? Or do you want to have 10 calls, 3 interviews, and 1 sale? Now, watch what I do. I'm in total financial planning. I charge no fees. My opinion, if you're charging fees, it's as out of place as a white man on a 100-yard dash starting block. All right, now. Hey. Heavy stuff. Okay, now. Please listen. No fee. I will take care of this for you. I will take care of all of this for you. In 200 people, I handle all of their money. Stocks, bonds, all of investment vehicles. I ask you to become knowledgeable and then keep it to yourself. This, and I do this. This is how I get paid. Is that fair? And everybody says, you see, folks, I don't get commission for stocks and bonds and mutual funds. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just telling you it's a simple way. It's like I've told you for years. I got one wife, one great family. Now, if you got a wife and a girlfriend, I don't understand it. I ain't that smart. You got to have the wisdom of Solomon to handle that. See, one's enough. I'm not telling you to do what I do. I say, geez, I'm happy. I want to share that with you. I'm excited about life. I get up every morning. Can't wait to get to work. Leave on Friday. Can't wait to get home. Can't wait to get the ball game. And if I got a chance to sell $250,000 worth of life insurance or be at my kid's ball game, I'm at the ball game. Because we're excited about the family unit. We're excited. I live a very provincial life, irrespective of what you might think when I come to the round table. I've been out with 4 or 5 couples all year. You see, the best person in my life is my wife, and I tell her that every day. All right? If you sell price, you're going to lose by somebody else that's selling price. Now, you've heard me maybe tell you 3 years ago what happened at the Final Four. Can I tell you? It happened again this year. I'm studying people. I know they don't care what anything costs. And I know that our police force is in neutral. It happened again this year. Kansas City. Hot dogs selling for $2.50. Eckridge sells them to them for 18 cents. Eckridge sells 18 cents. They give it to you for $2.50. What a bargain. And thousands of people at the intermission between the 2 ball games are going to 3, 5, 6 for Charlie, Harry the Hat, take 8 beers, anything. What was happening outside the arena? Scalpers. $25 tickets at game time going for $30. Where were the police? Arresting the scalpers. Should have been at the hot dog stand. All right. Now, we're moving along because just a second. Detroit, 52. Okay. Somebody's probably saying, I wonder if that's really the score. I just know LA will win. Did you ever see the whistle in the final game at home? They rolled it in. Nobody can carry it. All right? I can see the end of the game. LA 37 for 42 at the line. Detroit, 1 out of 6. Okay. Now, here's why some of you are bothered by me putting insurance down to 4%. Show you how we do this, and then we'll give you one more thing, and then we'll get on the way. I will be around all night. Anybody has question, answer, I'm always available. But tomorrow, I hope you come quicker after the game than you did with that applause, because I ain't waiting up for you. Now here is what I wish all of you could do and should do, and you'll explain in savings. Remember savings, investment, insurance is a savings. Savings. We got to get back to it, folks. I have $615,000 of cash value in my life insurance. No loans. Oh yeah, my accountant. Remember that years ago? John, you can do a lot better with your money. What are you doing with yours? Ain't got any. Jack Peckinpah. Boy, I just saw you. Indianapolis, Indiana is the greatest example of what I'm going to show you here. And I'll tell you what happened there, because that's your town or close to it. Right? You still living there? He owns it. Okay, now. Hey, by the way, Norm Levine, you know, I really want to compliment him. He called me, you know, when I was at Mayo. But Tom Wolfe called me every day at the Mayo Clinic. Charlie Flower sent a beautiful note to my secretary. Said, I know John has been sick mentally for years. I just hope it hadn't gotten down to the body. Okay, now. Now, here is the bank account, 6%. Here's another bank account, 12%. Here's another bank account, 18%. Here is the tin can. Now, folks, I have made fortunes with this idea. Go up to any one of your clients and say, if you put $400 a month in this account, $400 in this, $400 in this, and $400 in a tin can every month for 5 straight years, at the end of 5 years, where are you going to have the most money if, in fact, listen carefully to this phrase, when the money goes in the tin can, goes in a vise, open the top, put the 400 in it, whomp, the top comes down. Can't touch this money till the end of the 5th year. However, in the same period of time, you have open accessibility to the 3 other vehicles. At the end of 5 years, where will you have the most money? In the tin can. The success or failure of savings never was and never will be predicated on the return, rather on the systematic methodology of putting money in. Ladies and gentlemen, save. Hey, 90% of my money is in the middle circle, but I got a little bit on both sides. Backup stuff. And you know, at 29, when I quit coaching, gave full shot to this business, walked my wife down the aisle, came back from our honeymoon. And really, thanks to Vic Braden, a good friend of mine in California, I got back because I really didn't have enough money. He bought everything out there, paid for my room on our honeymoon. I had $180 when I came back. That's all I got to lose. Success and money have nothing in common. And if you don't get that straight, you got a long, arduous trip ahead. And circuitous routes all along the way. Anytime you put a price tag on something, the value always goes down. Now what we're going to do, now we're going to give you what you waited for. And this will end it. Here's the idea that I just put together. Now I've been doing this. I've sold a lot of irrevocable trusts. A lot of them. But this just dawned on me the other night. Now you need a big board. Get this all done. Hey, really, folks, you know, I met so many people in the last couple of days, really, that are negative. They're cutting up their company. They're cutting up the guy. They're cutting up the general agent. They have a negative attitude. Now that is a negative sign. Listen carefully. You only have to do one thing to turn a negative into a positive. One stroke. Why would you stay in that posture? General Motors, doing a little bit. A lot of things outside of this industry, having fun. I was meeting with one of their vice presidents. They got more problems than we got. We don't have many problems, we don't, but we got to get shaped up, get activated, get 200-300 lives a year. And then you're going to have so much activity, you're going to feel good. You're going to have a lot of wins. That's how you feel good. Wins make you feel good. Losses make you feel bad. Eliminate the losses, get wins. You go open the door, let the other person go first. That's a win. Matey is a champ at it. Matey, you cannot go through the door in front of Matey. You know why? It's a win. You see, he says, I spend time with a lot of people. It's self-serving. I enjoy it. I'm a teacher. I love to do it. Every time I help, that's a win. That's a win. And I record it. Helped him, win. Hurt somebody, lost. Have a lot of wins. You always feel good. Now, when I tell you they ain't got problems, this is General Motors line. You know what General Motors is? You ever hear of them? Now, here's what this is. This is a production line at General Motors. Now, these guys graduated from Harvard. Every audience I say, anybody here from Harvard? Can't find one. They must go somewhere. I'll tell you this, a good thing their fathers were born first, half of them. If in reverse, they all would have failed. Okay. Now, quality control. You learn that in economics. Quality control. What is quality control? This is the line. So the stuff with the customer, it comes out, it's good. They want to make sure. So the quality control people are working. 2,000 years after Christ, wouldn't you think it would occur to somebody to have these guys down here so it don't go in? I mean, that's what I want to do. I don't want you to get complex. I want you to become sophisticated, if that's the word you use. I want you to become knowledgeable. I love education. But you don't think it makes any difference where you go to school? I hope you don't think it makes any difference if you get all A's. People that get all A's always end up working for people that didn't get all A's. How many people get all A's? 3 out of 400 or 4 out of 400. What's the rest supposed to do? Well, I've had it. I'm shooting myself. Hey, we have a problem. You go to these major colleges, the kid gets 1B and jumps off the stairwell to suicide. When I got 1B, we had a party. Of course, I took a tough course. Phys ed. Hey, it was tough in those days. You had to show up. And a lot of things, you know. Now, here's the idea, and you're going to love this idea. Here's your irrevocable trust. Here is Ma Kettle. Here is Pa Kettle. Now, the problem here, they have $1 million estate tax problem. $1 million estate tax problem. They have $1 million worth of life insurance. They have bought it over the years with all good companies. They have $118,000 worth of cash value. Got it? Meet the guy for breakfast. He says, John, remember this. I know one thing. I enjoy being with you, but I got all the life insurance that I'm ever going to buy. Now, when someone tells you that, will you please do this? Say, you're right. I've just examined quickly, and you've got all the life insurance you will ever buy. Why did I say that? That's what he said. You got to win him over. You can't have rabbit stew till you catch the rabbit. Now, the premiums on this coverage, $20,000. I say to him, what if I could give you an idea? Reduce your premium, eliminate your estate tax, give $200,000 free ordinary life insurance on your wife. RJ, what do you think he said? There ain't nobody that would say not to that. That's selling. Now I got to do it. Watch what I do. This specific guy has $150,000 in CDs. You know, he doesn't have to save up to weigh himself. This guy has $1 million of life insurance. He's got $1 million estate tax problem. We're talking about a guy that's done pretty well. Now, no longer is he going to pay the premiums because we're going to take $100,000 and move it over here to the CDs. And we're going to gift this $18,000 of cash value and the $1 million insurance into an irrevocable trust. No problem. I understand the 3 years, but he's going to die within 3 if you don't put it in there. It's unbelievable. People get something like that. Can't do that. Like, remember years ago, a guy said to me, I said, you ought to get a CLU. He says, John, I'll be 59 years of age by the time I get it. I says, how old are you going to be in 5 years if you don't get it? I mean, it's wild. Now, Pa gives Ma $20,000, gifts her. Ma loans the irrevocable trust the $20,000 because we got to continue these policies and pay the premium. A note, demand note, comes down at 6% to Ma. She can get that money anytime she wants, thus turning an irrevocable trust into a revocable instrument. That quick. But that ain't just part of the job. Now, we're going to move $90,000 into a tax-free municipal bond at 8%. A bond. I love A bonds. I love AA. I love AAA. I haven't found much difference. I'm doing this for arithmetic reasons to help you out. He just gets $7,200 tax-free that he never had before. His premium coming in was $20,000. He now has $12,800. I've reduced his premium from $20,000 to $12,800. New coverage on the wife costs $6,000. I moved it back up to $18,800. Still $1,200 cheaper than when we went in. Now, what's the beauty here? Who usually dies first? Father. Mothers are living 8 years longer when they get older. That's why the old folks' home ain't got old fathers. They got old mothers. So the money comes in at death, $1 million to the irrevocable trust. It pays off the loan to Mark Kettle, whatever it is. Let's say it's $100,000. It goes down to $900. It sits up there 8 years at 9%. It then goes to $1,800,000. So as their estate moves forward, there's more dollars to pass on to the kids. Let me give you this in layman's language. The guy was raising cats to sell the fur. It cost too much to feed them. Raised rats. Don't cost much. Fed the rats to cats. Cats grew up, killed the cats, sold the fur. But what do I do with the carcass of the cat? Fed that to the rats. Fed the rats to the cats to the rats, and the fur was free. That's what you have there. All right. In closing, hey, I have fun. I want you to have fun. This is going to be my biggest year in the business. We keep going and moving and going and moving. I've never been more excited about the business. The future has never been clearer or brighter. I honestly believe in 10 years' time, you will see less and less computers and more relationships as our society has accelerated technologically with the same degree of rapidity. There has been an erosion of relationships. And when you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that guy has to say. For it isn't your father or mother or wife whose judgment upon you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. Oh, you may be like Jack Horner and chisel a plum and think you're a wonderful guy, but the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look straight in the eye. He's the fellow to please. Never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear to the end, and you've passed the most difficult, dangerous test when the man in the glass is your friend. You may fool all the folks through the pathway of years, getting pats on the back as you pass, but the final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated the one in the glass. Be quick to love, be quick to trust, be quick to excuse. Good luck, good health, God bless you.
For those who wish to learn more about the Roundtable, there's the information-packed Invitation to Excellence. And in recognition of outstanding work in the life insurance profession, MDRT offers a wide range of insignia jewelry and membership plaques in honor of the finest in the business. Available to individual members of our industry is the MDRT Video Club, where, for a yearly membership fee, a wide range of titles can be borrowed. Historical retrospective of past annual meeting programs and the most up-to-date speeches by industry leaders add up to an invaluable source of education and motivation. Also available are hundreds of audio cassettes documenting speeches given at past MDRT annual meetings. Speeches dealing with a host of issues confronting the agent in this turbulent age of change, an age in which the Roundtable continues to thrive. The $1 Million Roundtable provides a host of products and services for the modern life insurance agent. These items can be found only in the Roundtable catalog. They are the products of years of exploration and experience, of those who have dared to dream. They are the tools of success.